Hey guys, here again with another video, and I hope this is the last video for The Last of Us Part 2. Like you see here, I'm showing you the screen, the last screen that I saved 25 hours and 59 minutes before I finished the game. So I finished the game around 26 hours and something, maybe a couple more minutes. But this right here is my last save right there that it did basically autosave, and wow. What a game! What a roller coaster drive when it comes to, the emotionally twists that this game puts you through. Now, when you finish the game, like you see there, there's also a new game plus unlocked, which you can start the game again, right? But with all the upgrades and receipt that you gained and the level that you're at, you're gonna get it again once you reach Seattle. Ellie is gonna start with all her stuff already, so that's pretty damn cool there. That I really like. This game is really dark, and keep in mind, I am one of those that loved Last of Us Part One. I loved Joel in Part One. For me, a lot of people thought that Joel at the end of the game was the bad guy. Honestly, I didn't see it like that because I'm a parent. I'm a father of two daughters. And if I was in the same situation, I would have done exactly the same thing. Okay. And in the game, there is a moment where that same question is asked to somebody else. I'm not going to say who. And that person couldn't actually answer the question. Would you do the same thing? Would you sacrifice your daughter? Because there was no guarantee. That yes, and of course, how can we say confirm that she was the only one? She can't be the only one, also in the world, that is immune. So, no, I was not gonna let my daughter get sacrificed for. Let's see if we get a vaccine or not. So, me as a parent, I would have done the same thing. That's why I never saw Joel as the bad guy in part one, right? But other than that, said that, one thing to keep in mind about this game is that honestly, if you didn't like the first one because it was too dark, or because it was too violent, or because let's say you didn't finish it also because you got too scared to play through the game, you're not gonna like this game. Honestly, you're not gonna like this game. Just skip it, because if you didn't like the first one because it was too dark, too mature, or it was too scary to finish, so I guess you didn't like it that much to go through. So honestly, just skip this game and look for something else, because this game is more gritty, more mature than the first one, and darker than the first one. And emotionally, it's way more twistier than the first one. So keep that in mind. And another thing, of course, the obvious things about this game is that it has amazing graphics. It has an incredible story, right? But the gameplay for me has also been tweaked. I didn't really think that the gameplay on part one was that impressive. Honestly, I didn't think at all. For me, it's like, because Naughty Dog is like the controls, like shooting and all that, is kind of basic, right? Same thing with Uncharted. So same thing is here. For me, the gameplay feels the same, but a little bit more. I don't know, a little bit more polished. I don't know if it's actually me that I'm used to playing Naughty Dog games. I don't know if that's the reason why I found it better. But I liked it. Another thing that I really liked about this game is the accessibility features. Like you see here, I really love the fact that I could activate the contrast by pressing or swiping to the side on the touchpad. That way, it made me a lot more easier to find stuff around the world. And keep in mind, even with using this feature, I did not get 100% of all the artifacts. I thought I would, but I didn't. I still, like, on every chapter, once you finish the game, you can actually see all the chapters. Or I think before you finish the game, you can actually see all the chapters and the unlockables per chapter. I On every chapter I missed a whole bunch of items. So even using this feature with the contrast, you're still gonna miss things, but you'll miss less things than you normally would. And I really loved it. So that's a great thing that they did that. In this game, you're also gonna be, not only are you gonna be facing a lot of infected people or creatures, and you also get new creatures as well in this game, but you will also be facing the humans. And there's a lot of factions here. You got the wolves, you got the scars, and you know, they sometimes are even more challenging than the clickers or the monsters itself. That's a cool thing about this game. They brought different types of challenges to you. There's like big human bosses as well in this game, and also they included the dogs, which the dogs will sniff you out and indicate or show your location. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But you know, other than that, from here on, it's gonna be very, very spoilery. So keep that in mind. If you don't want spoilers, quit this video. I don't want to hear no bitching in the comments. So from now on, I'm gonna be actually talking about spoilers in this game, and it might be very big spoilers to you depending how you think about spoilers. Okay, so first of all, you've been warned. So here we go. So when early in the game, right, we all know, a lot of people know that, spoilers, Joel dies, right? He gets killed, and he gets brutally killed, right? And at that moment, I was really mad. Not mad at Naughty Dog for doing this, but I was mad at seeing that character doing this to my beloved Joel, right? And I was on board all the time from the beginning with Ellie, wanting to get revenge. I wanted to get so badly my hands on Abby, right? All the time from the beginning since I saw that death. And, you know, the gameplay with Ellie felt great. You know, she felt awesome, the gameplay. There was a lot of great moments with Ellie during our path and during a journey. It was really, really good. Her combats against enemies, against dogs, against the creatures, everything felt really good. And for me, it felt very, very similar to part one. It felt very, very similar to part one, right? But, you know, there is a moment where you reach, right? There is a moment that you reach after doing all the upgrades of your character, after, you know, I would say around 15 to 16 hours, I think it took me to actually reach this certain point of the game that I was like, am I about to finish the game? Because it felt like I was about to finish the game, right? But I knew there was more, right? But it felt like the end was nearby, and I was like, man, am I rushing this game? Because, you know, the way it felt like I was about to find closure, right? And there is this point at a theater that happens. I don't want to, you know, even though this is a spoiler, I want to try to avoid a little bit here and there. The game switches, right, from Ellie, it switches to Abby at this certain point, which is very, very crucial in the game. And it took me around 15 to 16 hours to get to that point, right? And I was like, holy crap, I can't believe it. We're switching to this other character. And we start playing as this character, right? We did play as Abby before, but it was just a little bit. It was like maybe 20 minutes of gameplay. And we still didn't know who the hell was she, right? And why we were playing as her. But then we start playing as her. The game switches completely to her. And I start seeing her skill tree, her weapon levels, and I was like, holy crap, are you kidding me? This seems like it's going to be going up for a long haul. It seems like we're going to be playing this game with her for a long time, because I saw the skill tree and I saw all this, and I was like, holy crap, wait a second. And I had to take a break. You know, I had to take a break, and I really recommend everybody to, when you reach this point at the theater that it switches from Ellie to Abby, switch, you know, take a break. You know, stop the game, put it down, put the controller down, go do something else, go play freaking Animal Crossing or something very nice, you know, and then later on the next day come back and start playing again as Abby, because it's gonna be it's gonna be going for a long haul, right? So when I started playing as Abby, I did like it. You know, I started playing because you get to know her past, how she came up, how she grew up, her love story, with her relationship with the group itself, the Wolf members, right? Which at first looked so horrible, right? But now you're playing on the other side, and you start to see the other side of the story, you know, because this game is basically telling you, showing you what revenge does to a person from both sides, right? From Ellie's perspective and from Abby's perspective. And you get to see why she did what she did. And honestly, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I think Joe deserved to die the way he did. Maybe if I was in her position, maybe I would have double tap on Joe. Believe me, that's how it actually convinced me that, you know what? Yes, okay. But you know, the story kept on going, and for me, the game went to different locations. Even though you're still in Seattle, for me, the challenges with Abby was a little bit more different. The missions were, for me, a little bit better. Her interactions with another group called the Scars, a couple members, was fantastic. And wow, her character, you can see in this game, her character changing a lot. And I actually felt so awesome about Abby. Abby is a monster. Abby is it's built for fighting. You can see her body, her demeanor, and she's always want to train. So she looks like a beast. Okay, that honestly, in a hand-to-hand combat with Ellie, there's no doubt that she would destroy Ellie. Okay, as a person, you get to see how she is as a person, and honestly, as a person, I fell in love with her. She was freaking awesome as well. So that's something that I really like about it. Another thing that this game did to me was that in the game you do kill a lot of dogs. Well, I try to kill not too many dogs. I think I killed maybe like 3 or 4 dogs, right, in this game, because I actually did try to sneak around and not kill the dogs. But at first, when I saw people complaining about the dogs, I was like, this is just digital, you know. I love dogs, but this is just a game. I don't care killing the dogs because this is just a game. But when you start playing as Abby and you start going to the camps and you see how these people care for the dogs, I felt like shit. I felt like a scumbag, like trash, for killing these dogs, because these dogs are basically family members. And wow, they look so cute, and they were you know, taken care so great that it made me feel like shit. I really did. It made me feel like shit. And that's something that's great. That's something, when a game does that to you, I think it's great. So that's something that I really loved, and I loved her journey, the way that she meets on 2 new characters in this game, and the way she switches sides. It's so awesome. I just really, really loved it. I really loved it a lot, and to the point that when it was getting to that crucial moment, right? It took around, I would say, like 9 hours playing as Abby. That's why I say take a break, because this is going to go for the long haul. When I got to that crucial point, I paused the game. I was just like, you know what? I wonder if Naughty Dog is actually going to make us choose between Abby or Ellie at this crucial point. Because if that's the case, I was actually going to go for Abby, believe it or not. Because I saw how, you know, this game makes you see that Abby, then Ellie and her group are basically the bad ones, not the wolves. And, or not Abby, of course. So I was like, I paused again. I was like, holy crap, if there's like a moment that I have to decide Ellie or Abby, who am I going to pick? I had to think about it before I actually went to this building. Before I actually entered the theater, I had to decide. I was thinking, okay, who am I going to choose, right? Because that's what I thought that Naughty Dog was going to do. Make us choose between Abby or Ellie at this crucial point. So, honestly, I was Team Abby all the way. All the way, I was Team Abby, and if that moment came up, I was going to choose Abby over Ellie. But no, Naughty Dog doesn't really make you or force you choose a side, which thanks God, because it would have been hard, even though, yes, I was Team Abby all the way. But man, this game is just awesome. The way it tells the story with the gameplay, it's just amazing. I don't remember playing a game where it changes the way you feel a lot, and this is just one of them, and they did an amazing job, and I ended up loving Abby so much more than, at some moment in the game I did feel that was getting too dragged. The gameplay was getting too long when I was playing as Abby. But in reality, what after I finished the game, I was like, you know what? In reality, I would have preferred to play more Abby than Ellie's side of this quest, because Ellie's side of the quest took me around 16 hours, about 15 to 16 hours before you reach that crucial point, right? That's like a whole game, right? And when you play as Abby, it takes you like around 8 to 9 hours, her journey completely. And I was like, man, this is going too far or too long. They're dragging this too much. But in reality, I think I wanted less Ellie and more Abby. So that's why, I enjoyed this game a lot. And I love movies like this too. I like dark movies that gives you a unpredictable ending and sometimes controversial ending. So that's why most likely I had no problems with the way they told the story in this game. And like I said, this is a revenge story. This game is telling you and it's showing you and it's making you feel what it is like to have revenge inside of your heart, and what you're gonna get out of it. What are you gonna get when you reach that point? Are you gonna feel better because of revenge or not? And that's what this game does to you. It does make you feel something. It makes you feel something. For me, I really liked it. So honestly, for me, I consider this game a very awesome, amazing game, and it's incredible, because I was like, man, thanks God I didn't buy the limited edition package that comes with the Ellie statue, because I would have break it. At the end of the game, after the credits, I would have made a video and break the freaking statue, because this game made Ellie look so bad. It made her look so bad. Imagine getting to a boss fight, right? At the end of the game, you get to a boss fight, and you don't want to finish it. You don't want to beat the boss, right? You're like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to beat this boss. And if you know what I'm talking about, right? At the end, there's the epic battle, which honestly, I don't believe it's an epic battle, because Abby was very, very weak, and they almost unrecognizable. So weak, and the way that Ellie forces Abby fight, it made Ellie look even worse, even a worse human being that I thought she was. She's not bad, but it made her look even worse. So imagine playing a game and you get to the boss fight, right, to the last level of the game. You always want to finish the boss. You want to kill the boss and end the game. In this game, I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do what Naughty Dog wanted me to do. I didn't want to press those buttons. The match lasted longer than it should have, because I did not want to do what Naughty Dog wanted me to do. And that's something that I never experienced in a game before. I can't remember the time where I reached the last level of the game, face the boss. I'm like, no, I don't want to kill you. Please, I don't want to kill you. No, I don't want to kill you. You know what I mean? So other than that, I had to make this video. I rarely ever do video reviews for games, but I had to do a video for this one, because this one for me is special. After 7 years waiting for this game, it kind of sucks that I finished it in 6 days. That's something that I hate, that it kind of sucks that it only took me 25 hours, even though I did feel longer. But other than that, I loved it. Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know in the comments after the credits, were you Team Abby or Team Ellie? I was Team Abby all the way. And honestly, if there was a DLC for this game, I would love to see a DLC for Abby. I would like to see what happened with Abby after she left. I would love to see more about her. So let me know in the comments what you think about the game, what you think about the story, and honestly, I just want to hear your comments in the story if you actually played the game, okay? Because it's not the same thing playing it than watching videos. Because if you're one of those that quit the game when Joel got killed, I don't want to hear from you, okay? Because you obviously don't know what's going on. And playing the game and having the control in your hand, making those decisions, that is very, very powerful. And that's what this game does. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about this game? Honestly, I consider this game a masterpiece because it tells an amazing story. It plays with your emotions. Graphics are amazing. Gameplay is awesome. And, you know, I just loved it. And I want to see more of it, but I don't know if I want to see more of Ellie. I'd rather see more of Abby. Let me know in the comments, guys. Till next time. Thanks for watching this video. Bye-bye.